The catastrophic Battle of Carrhae in 53 BC was one of the most mutilating defeats in Rome's history. According to the ancient historian Plutarch, casualties numbered around 20,000 dead and 10,000 captured, with the general Crassus humiliatingly slain with molten gold poured down his throat. But what became of the 10,000 soldiers captured by the Parthians? This is what we're going to see in today's video. I've already published another video about the mistake Crassus made in this battle, and how he died. So if you haven't seen it yet, I'll leave it here on the card so you can check it out later. After the defeat at Carrhae and Crassus's death, the Roman army was left in disarray and demoralized. Plutarch described that the Romans were so thoroughly demoralized that they did not even take care of their dead or wounded. Around 4,000 injured were left behind by the army on the battlefield. The soldiers who escaped the battle tried to seek refuge in mountainous regions or hide in villages and tiny hamlets, but escape did not mean safety. The local populations, who still resented the Roman looting during the campaign, were openly hostile to the fugitives. They refused to offer any help to the fleeing Romans, leaving them vulnerable and isolated. Unsatisfied with their overwhelming victory, the Parthians launched a relentless pursuit of the surviving Romans. Aware that many were scattered and isolated, the Parthians struck those who were alone, or otherwise powerless to keep up with the rest of the Roman forces. Anyone who failed to keep up with the retreat, or who was too wounded to continue fleeing, was killed ruthlessly. The Parthians ultimately captured 10,000 Roman soldiers. They also succeeded in trapping several of the legionary eagles, which meant a gigantic humiliation not only for the soldiers, but for the entire Roman Republic. This not only shattered Roman morale, but was also used by the Parthians as a war trophy, a constant reminder of how fragile Rome was when faced with their military strength. More humiliating still was the treatment of a Roman prisoner of war, who, according to Plutarch, bore a physical resemblance to Crassus. Seizing on this similarity, the Parthians dressed the prisoner in female attire and forced him to parade through Parthia in a public mockery. They commanded the other Roman prisoners, obliged to watch this scene, to salute the false Crassus. This was a direct travesty of a Roman triumphal ceremony, in which the victorious commander paraded through Rome in a chariot, with prisoners and treasures on display for the people. The Parthian commander Serena then decided that, instead of killing or selling the Roman soldiers as slaves, he would give them a more unusual fate. He ordered them to be taken to Alexandria Margiana, a city in the Margiana region, near the border of the Parthian Empire, a strategically critical area. Founded by Alexander the Great, the city had a cosmopolitan population, with Greek, Persian, and local influences, and was known for being a cultural and military center. The reason Serena chose not to kill all the prisoners may be related both to his military strategy and wanting to humiliate the Romans in a more prolonged way, showing them that they were no longer impervious to defeat. Additionally, Serena probably regarded these prisoners as a valuable resource that could be used to reinforce the Parthian Empire's presence in peripheral regions. There are reports suggesting that these 10,000 men were later used as mercenary soldiers in subsequent campaigns, possibly fighting for the Parthians instead of returning to Rome. One possibility was raised by the American sinologist Homer H. Dubbs in the 1940s, where he argued that the Romans could have fought as mercenaries in the Battle of Carrhae in 36 BC, a conflict against the Han dynasty. After the defeat, these Roman mercenaries would have settled in a place called Leucane. Dubbs founded his theory on Chinese accounts that described the mercenaries in a fish-scale formation and a defensive approach of double wooden palisades. He claimed that this description related to Roman battle tactics, such as the Tetsudo formation. But Dubbs's theory has not been accepted by historians, mainly because to this day no Roman artifacts, like coins or weapons, have been found that could confirm the presence of Romans in the region associated with this battle. This idea was described by Rob Gifford as a rural myth, reflecting the uncertainty and dearth of evidence to support the connection between the Roman prisoners and the events in China. In 2008, the theory regarding the descendants of Roman soldiers in Likain was undermined by DNA tests carried out by Lanzhou University. The research analyzed the DNA of 87 villagers from the region, and the findings revealed that only 3 exhibited West Asian traits that differed from the Mediterranean traits normally associated with Romans. This meant that the ancestry of the Lycian inhabitants was more varied than the theory suggested, with contributions from different regions and eras, rather than an exclusive lineage of Roman soldiers. What really happened to the remaining war prisoners from the Battle of Carrhae is still a mystery. But let me know in the comments what you think of this theory. And if you like the video, please like it and subscribe to the channel.